Okay, so now that that's done, a bit of background. This was a project I worked on over 2 days to try and create a koi fish in Unity, which I hoped would eventually I'd just duplicate it, clone it, and put a bunch and make kind of like a koi fish pond sort of situation. However, through the project, I went on a few tangents. Well, I guess one tangent technically, and it didn't really turn out the way I wanted to. But here's how it went. So to start off, I had to create the actual fish itself. A fish, in my opinion, is pretty much just a head, a tail, and a body. And if anyone says otherwise, you're just wrong. Just accept it. Uh, Anyways, so yeah, pretty much I just created those three parts and laid them out vaguely fish-like with a head at the start, tail at the end, and that's great. But a fish obviously isn't three dots, so I use the line render, which I put on the head, to create the body by assigning it positions and then tapering it slightly to make it, fish-like. Because a fish ain't a block. Then, one slight recolor later, we ran to our first kind of issue. Basically, since I was setting the positions of the line in the edit in the inspector, it wouldn't follow the head, so which isn't really realistic because last time I checked, if the fish's body doesn't follow the head, it's a dead fish. So we need to solve that really quick, which led into our first bit of code. Probably the only bit I could do by myself. So after I finish my 6 lines of code, I'd kind of hop back into Unity to just test that it works. Pretty much all it does is tell the line to change position to the body, tail, or head's position whenever they change, which is important if the fish is going to swim forward or something, right? And then I also tested to make sure that that it followed every joint individually. But as you can see, a slight issue here is it's too sharp, at least from what I know, because I've never seen a fish that sharp. Okay, fine. But you get my point. I've never seen a fish fold like that in nature. Anyway, to solve this, what we needed to use is curves. Yes, curves. But slight issue again. They require math, and any sort of complex math is just in one ear out the other. I've completely forgotten it. Even if I did learn it at some point, no clue. Absolutely no clue. So we're going to need to outsource this to someone who's a lot smarter than I am. And one quick prompt later, it spits out some code which we copy, paste, refactor a bit to make sure it fits our script, and then test in Unity to make sure it does what we want it to do. And in this case, it is doing what we want it to do. It makes our fish look even better, and it bends it as it should. So that's all good. And I mean, at this point, I could just leave it, be happy, and just move along with my life. But I just can't. I need to know what the hell it's doing because all I see in this, like, just looking at this gives me a headache. It's got a U, a T, and an I there, and at best, all I know is what one of those letters does. So I need to go crawling back to ChatGPT and ask it what the hell is going on in this script. Which again, it kind of spits out and tries to explain it, but just staring at that causes my head to hurt so much, and it isn't really that helpful. So we've got to go with option two. We go into YouTube, search understanding Bezier curves, and just click on the first option. After being confident I understood what was going on in the video, I didn't. I thought now would be a good time to go on a short tangent and create a curve generator. It wasn't. And this is probably where it truly went off the rails. Then after a day or so, I finally complete my tangent. So here's my curve generator. Honestly, I don't have much to talk about it because it actually functioned the way it should have, and it actually did work. Uh, my one regret is that it did take me a day to finish, mainly because of me being an idiot and not actually understanding what the hell was going on at all. So I had to slowly work through a crap ton of bugs. That was mainly just me missing like what was it essentially meant to be a t replacement for like a value, which I wasn't doing for some reason. And yeah, I mean, it works. It's good. I'm actually proud of this part of the project. It actually turned out pretty well. And then we just kind of after this we just dove right back into the koi fish project, which I'm just gonna bridge this section because it's again, is as it said, it's not a tutorial. Anyway, so what we did now is we focus on making the fish move like a fish, which is like getting it to turn and like curve as it's turning and all that. And honestly, that was probably like my favorite part, like messing around, just like it curving and when it's turning. Like I could literally spend hours messing around with that thing. However, I had to kind of move on. Uh, Shortly afterwards, I worked on make it move like a fish, to where it kind of pushes forward and slows down, then pushes forward and slows down. And I mean, it did work. However, I kind of wanted a collision detection on the tail, which is why I put rigid body on it. But the second I put rigid body on the tail, for some reason it just would stopped moving. It just stuck in position and then kind of just stretched the whole thing out. And I mean, I never figured out what the issue was, so I just kind of just gave up on the whole rigid body idea. Um, Other than that, I just create a short script to kind of spawn about like a set number of fish and in the scene and hit play. And here's the final product. Sure, it's not the best, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I did what I set out to do, and it's there are a few improvements I can make, but I will not be doing them now. I'll probably do them if I ever decide to come back to this. And yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.